Hi everyone, and welcome to another flight deck sim tutorial. In today's video we'll be discussing the stab trim override switch both in the normal and override position. Now, where is the stab trim override switch? Here it is. It's located on the pedestal of the 737. Now, it's by default in the normal position. Now, what does that mean? Well, in the normal position, if you apply an elevator force in the opposite direction you are trimming, the trim operation will be interrupted and it will stop. Now, this will ensure that you have sufficient elevator authority at all time. So, for example, if I trim nose down and pitch up, when the control column reaches a certain position, it will stop trimming. Now, I'll demonstrate this by now trying to maintain 5,000 feet and trimming nose down. So here we are at 5,000 feet. I'll also turn on yoke cam. I'll move my right hand out the way so you can see the control column clearly. And I'm going to disconnect the autopilot now. And I'm going to start trimming nose down, but continue following the flight directives to maintain 5,000 feet. So there is the nose down trim input. And notice as I increase back pressure to maintain level flight, still trimming at this present time, to keep trimming, still maintaining 5,000 feet, still trimming. I'm having to increase back pressure. Look, it has stopped out. Stop trimming now. So that's based off the control column position. So if I release a bit of back pressure, look, it will continue to trim. And this is how it's designed to do. Now if I let go, look, the aircraft will dive rapidly because we're well out of trim. But notice now if I start trimming nose down, release the back pressure, there you go, it will start trimming again. So in the normal function, it will prevent you from trimming against your control column inputs. Now let me get the aircraft back trimmed out at 212 knots at 5,000 feet. So I've re-engaged the automation after trimming it back for 210 knots level flights. Let's now move the stab trim position to override and do exactly the same thing and see what happens. So we'll disconnect the autopilot, turn on the yoke cam again, and I'll start trimming nose down. I think you might be able to hazard a guess as to what will happen in the override position. I'm still trimming nose down, and I'm having to slowly increase back pressure to maintain 5,000 feet. It's a very slow, gradual process, and I've now actually reached the forward stop limit. I'm having to maintain a lot of back pressure here to maintain this altitude. Watch what happens when I release the control column. It's going to dive, dive, dive. Now in reality, because there's no feedback on the control column here with the yoke, you would have a lot of significant back pressure here to maintain the required desired flight path. You might actually ask for assistance from pilot monitoring. So there's a lot of back pressure here needed in the override situation. So why would you actually need to use override? So what situations might you actually select override? Well, it's very useful in situations where you have a jammed or restricted flight control, in this case the elevator. So as discussed in the override function, this will bypass the control column cutout switches, which are small sensors located on the control column, and it'll allow you to trim any command regardless of the control column position. So when you have a jammed or restricted elevator, you can use the electric trim to aid with pitch control. Well, that's the end of the stab trim override switch demonstration. I hope you found that interesting and learned something new. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments section below, and also if you have any questions as well. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, and if you want to stay up to date with the latest content, you can subscribe as well. Take care, and I'll see you on the next live stream or video very soon.